have to embrace this moment and not squander this opportunity. I have been in a major funk lately, and I would say probably the past 3 to 4 weeks, I've just been feeling stuck. That is the word I've been using in my journals and my prayers and my thoughts, just stuck. And it probably wasn't until last week and definitely this weekend, today specifically, Sunday, July 12th, 2026, where I realized I just have to get up, get up and do something. I have to do something about this. And I did. So today, I woke up early. I'm going to be real. It's that time of the month. And there's those couple of days where it's just extra heavy and I'm just in pain, uncomfortable, running back and forth to the bathroom. So I'm not getting the regular sleep I normally get. And I woke up around 6 a.m. today and I stayed up. As exhausted as I was, I stayed up, started reading, doing my devotionals, and ended up just knocking out like mid process. But then I woke up and I realized I haven't been doing like deep work. I haven't been doing my regular prayer that I say pretty much every day. I've reduced it to only doing it once a month. Why? I don't even know why I started doing that. Although it is repetitive, it's something I used to do every single day. And I got away from that because it was just taking too long. But that really got me thinking as I was journaling, as I was praying this morning, as to what do I need to do to get out of this funk? So last week I started walking. I started to work more on my creative projects. I finished reading this book. You guys have to read it. Don't Believe Everything You Think by Joseph Nguyen. Anyway, you guys get the idea. It's a really short book. It's like less than 152 pages or less than, it's 170. What I'm getting at is I read a chapter a day, finished it last week, did the workbook pages at the end. It's not a lot. It was an easy read. And it really just reminded me to just stay in a flow state, because when I'm not, I'm overthinking. I'm letting fear, doubts, insecurities just be top of mind. And mind you, I'm still doing the work. I'm still doing my morning routine. I'm working out. But in my business and working career, it's been really stagnant and slow, which is interesting because these are things I prayed for in a particular part of my business. But now that it's happened and I don't feel ready for it, it caught me off guard and I started to self-sabotage. I started to self-sabotage and I realized, okay, I can't do that. I just can't. I have to embrace this moment and not squander this opportunity. So this morning, back to today, I realized I feel stuck. I feel disconnected. I even feel forgotten for and forsaken because I'm not doing the deep work. I'm not doing yesterday's work. I'm expecting everything today to just go my way when I still have this long list of things that are behind me that need to get done. Now, these aren't tasks that are going to totally change. Well, okay, here's what I'll say. I needed to do simple things like mop, sweep, rearrange a room, sort things, like deep cleaning work, like clean my shower, scrub the walls, right? But I kept putting it off. I kept delaying it. I kept delaying it. Even when I was home, I'd be like, oh, I'm not in the mood. I don't feel like it, because it's a whole process in my head, that it's a whole narrative that I tell myself, like, okay, well, you're going to get sweaty. So you don't want to do it a day that you shower in the morning and then you're going to have to take another shower. And then, I don't want to go to sleep with my hair wet because I don't like going to sleep with my hair wet. And then I don't want to clean while I'm working because I need to be focused on working. And then on the weekend, I got to go to my parents' house. I got to do all these. I got to go to this party. I got to go. So it's like I kept going through that process every day, and then months go by. Weeks go by, months go by, and I woke up this morning and I said, you know what? I don't care if I'm on my period. I don't care if I'm uncomfortable. I need to get back to really talking to God, like deeply, regardless of who's here, what I have going on, where I'm at in the world. I need to touch base with God, because the prayers I do in the morning, the journaling, the devotionals, they're great. But I think I just hit a plateau because I wasn't just free flowing with God. I wasn't in a flow state with God. I was just going through the motions. So this morning I said, after my prayer, God, what do I need to do? I still feel stuck. I still feel stuck. And all that kept popping in my head, and this is probably God talking to me, Jesus, Holy Spirit, was to clean, 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 clean. And I was like, well, I just got to do the dishes. And then I was like, yeah, I haven't really wiped my table. Oh, my bathroom. And then I have another room that I'm working on right now, rearranging that. I was going to put it off until this week. And I said, you know what? The first rough couple of days are done with my period. And even if I have like a wave of pain, I'm going to push through it today, because these are projects I've had on my list for too long, way too long, to the point where I'm just like, ugh, disgusted. But I said, you know what? Let's change the narrative in my head. Get a mask, get some gloves, get the wipes, get the peroxide, get the paper towels, get everything together, the towels, the garbage trash bag, put it all in place so nothing is left to be an excuse to turn away. And as soon as I got up, finished my morning routine, I said, you know what? Let's do it. Put on long sleeve pants, put my Crocs on sport mode, and I got busy. Tore up that bathroom and cleaned the heck out of it. Something I've been meaning to do for so long. And thankfully it's just me here, you know, a few family members on a random occasion, but outside of that, I just been neglecting that area of my house, because it just, even also mentally, to me bathrooms are gross. Even when I do clean it, I just haven't had a moment to do it. So what I'm getting at is, I've been in this funk. I've been stuck. I keep using this word stuck. And yes, I think prayer does help, especially when you start to feel like you're being neglected. Just know that it's not neglection. Is neglection a word? But what I'm trying to get at is, I really truly do subscribe and believe that God is redirecting me. Because as I mentioned earlier, I was like, okay, these are things I prayed for, you know, place to myself, being able to create content more, to get paid to do content, stuff like that. But I still feel stuck. Like, this can't be what I've been praying for. And I realized, if I want this all to work, I can't neglect what is actually important in that process, which is like, not just being grateful to have a home, but actually taking care of it, deep cleaning it. You know, I kind of compare it to not just the bathroom, but every crevice in the house, you know, whether it's dusting the walls, changing light bulbs. I emptied out my vacuum, which had been almost full for 6 months, and changed the garbage bags, did all the dishes, like stuff like that, that I've been just neglecting, or I just let pile up, and then I'll work on it when it gets to be too much because I'm too busy, right? And yeah, I realized, okay, in this next realm, career part of my life that I have been praying for, working towards, talking about, writing about, praying about, pleading with God, crying to God, if it means that I'm not going to be able to maintain the regular duties of my life, like if everything else has to suffer, then I don't think I'm ready to have what's next. So I had to bring it back, do some inventory, as I have been for the past couple of weeks, because I've just been feeling just stuck. And it really came down today to getting up and cleaning. And I felt so much better afterwards because these are things that I've been avoiding for so long. And now that I've gotten and like done the deep cleaning, done the deep work, I can just maintain it. Now it's just maintenance. And the same thing goes for my career in ways that I make money, being self-employed. I've been self-employed for 8.5 years now, and it's not easy, but it's also worth it. The hard work is worth it because when you do get into those flow states and you're just in it, and I'm trying to teach myself to stay in these flow states even when I'm not making money, because I put a lot of my worth and my value and my mood in the money. And I have to realize that money is just a tool. It's not my identity. It's not my worth. It's not my mood. It's just a thing I need to maintain keeping a home, having a home. I'm in charge of keeping the home, keeping it clean, getting into the crevices of things, making sure things are still working properly, right? But the money part is just, uh, you know, to get me another ticket to stay another month, right? And same goes for the bills. And so money is just a tool. And I have to constantly say that and remind myself, whether I believe it or not at times, because I get so consumed in when I don't have enough of it, or if I think I don't have enough of it. But when I scale back, when I slow down, when I calm down and remove myself from those feelings and those thoughts, and I just get busy and just get to work, I realize I have so much. So much. I have so much stuff. And if I'm really struggling or stuck, get rid of it. Clean something up. Move your body. Go for a walk. Get out of your head. And that's exactly what I think God has been telling me to do. Why this book came into my life. Why I also haven't been posting here. Granted, I am working on a couple other channels, and really those have been growing at a good pace. But I don't want to completely abandon what's important to me to get where I think I need to be. Whereas where I'm at is exactly where I need to be. It's quite the journey because I definitely find myself overthinking, being like double-minded and stuck at times because I'm just like, is this the right decision, God? Should I be doing this? But God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, whatever you believe in, this is what I believe in. I truly think that I'm not meant to live a perfect life. So as long as I make a decision and that decision involves God, it will always be the right decision. As long as it aligns with me morally, ethically, all of those things, and it's legal, obviously, then I truly believe it's from God. And God will tell me whether this is right or wrong. And it's up to me to decide, okay, let's pivot. Let's go a different direction. Or let's try something else. And that's what I had to do today, was just try something else. And we shall see how this goes. I want to take you guys on a journey with me this week to see 7 days in my life and go from there. So I'll give you guys a snippet or maybe a detailed vlog into my life. But tomorrow's Monday. I'm releasing my very first interview in a very long time. It's not my first one, but I had a podcast, and I'll tell this story in another conversation. But long story short, I pretty much just self-sabotaged the whole podcast as it was doing numbers. And I said, you know what? Let's change the name. I don't like this name anymore. I should have never called it this. And then as soon as I changed the name, it all just declined and everything just was out of order, out of whack. Fast forward 2 years later, I said, you know what? Let's just go back to the original name. Same concept, but we're going to introduce it with video. Audio will be on the back burner. But for now, we're just going to prioritize people's stories and using my gifts and my skills to talk to these people, to share their journeys, to empower others, to inspire others, to encourage others, and take it from there. So tomorrow, that episode goes live. And I've also been doing a lot more live streaming, which is fun. I'm supposed to get a haircut later this week. The Valkyries are playing a couple times this week. If you're not watching the Valkyries, what are you doing? Okay. I was fortunate to go to 2 games in the past few weeks, and it is just electric. So much fun. So much fun. Go follow 84 Hoops Crew so you can see all my vlogs on those. But yeah, I want to take you guys through a week in my life. No 2 weeks are ever exactly the same. So it's not going to really be the same thing I do every week. It's just what I happen to be doing this week. And just like letting you guys in on where my mind's at, where my heart's at, where my money at. That's the question that's been pending this whole time, is where my money at. That's the question of the week. Where my money at? And I'm going to end it on that. So thank you guys for watching. I actually recorded this vlog like 5 times. I had a 30-minute vlog prior to this, but this one just felt more like me. And yeah, I hope you guys can resonate and relate. If you made it this far in the video, drop a broom emoji, because I was brooming today and I was cleaning my little heart out. Got that toilet cleaned. A broom or a toilet emoji. The toilet emoji is nasty. But thank you guys for watching. It's your girl Lils. And yeah, life is a blessing. Fearless individuality yields abundant healing. See ya.